Hey, what is going on, Nightmare Corner family? So today is a very awesome video. I'm very excited. So if you guys haven't heard the news, they are coming out with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, a horror movie, and this is just freaking amazing. I'm super excited about it. So I'm actually at work. I'm coming to you live from the parking lot in my car while I'm on lunch, and I just had to do this video real quick. So I'm like really underprepared for this video, which is why I have some information here that I'm going to share with you guys. But this is some really cool stuff. I'm going to share the plot with you guys and some other info that I found. This was an interview with Variety that the director Rhys Waterfield had with them about the movie. So we're going to go over some of this stuff here so you guys kind of have all the information that you need so far for this film. And then we're going to kind of go into a little bit of what I would like to see in the movie, or just speculation and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey wrapped earlier this month, and the first still showing a demonic Pooh and Piglet about to pounce on a scantily clad young woman relaxing in a hot tub have already set the internet on fire. So as I read this, I'm going to show you guys pictures, so don't worry. Because of all the press stuff, we're just going to start expediting the edit and getting it through post-production as fast as we can, but also making sure it is still good. It's going to be high priority, so very exciting. According to Waterfield, who is the director, who also wrote and co-produced the film, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey will see, well, here's the plot. Winnie the Pooh, we will see Winnie the Pooh and Piglet as the main villains going on a rampage after being abandoned by a college-bound Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin is pulled away from them, and he has not given them food. It's made Pooh and Piglet's life quite difficult. Because they had to fend for themselves so much, they've essentially become feral. So they've gone back to their animal roots. They're no longer tame. They're like vicious bear and pig who want to go around and try and find prey. That is freaking cool. Technically, Christopher Robin that came out for Disney, that's a good premise for right there for a horror movie right there. So I love that plot. That makes total sense because Christopher Robin eventually grows up. Here we go. So the film was shot in 10 days in England, not far from Ashdown Forest, the inspiration for Milton's imaginary 100-acre wood in the Winnie the Pooh stories, which that's the original writer for Winnie the Pooh. Although Waterfield declined to reveal the budget for the slasher flick, he said audience shouldn't be expecting this to be a Hollywood-level production. Jagged Edge Productions, which Waterfield runs with co-producer Scott Jeffrey, made the film, and ITN Studios have already signed on to distribute it for a release date is to be dated. So very cool. I kind of expected, of course, with movies like this, you don't expect it to be, Hollywood level, quality and stuff like that, which is cool because if you look at the, what do you call it? What is that? The Banana Splits. That wasn't Hollywood really quality right there. It was kind of like a low budget. So I'm cool with that. This is a movie that seems like it's going to take itself seriously, but not take itself seriously at the same time. And I think as long as it's good, I don't think it really matters, because I've seen some low budget films that were actually pretty good. All right, so we move on to the next thing that they stated in this interview. So the only worry, especially with all the newfound publicity, is whether Disney will have anything to say about Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, which they probably will, because Disney's a bunch of jerks. So, although Milton's earliest stories are now out of copyright, Disney retains exclusive use for their interpretations of Pooh Bear and his friends. We've tried to be extremely careful. We knew there was a line between that, and we knew what their copyright was and what they've done. So we did as much as we could to make sure the film was only based on the 1926 version of it, which is very cool. At least you know where your boundaries are. And Winnie the Pooh is, since it's out of copyright, it's just one of those free licenses that you could do and take with it as you wish, which is why Waterfield's Pooh Bear was swapped the little red t-shirt for a lumberjack suit and Piglet and clad in black. It is also why other characters still in copyright, such as Tigger, will not appear, although there is a scene featuring Eeyore's tombstone, the miserable donkey having been eaten by the starving Pooh and Piglet. Poor Eeyore. No one is going to mistake this for a Disney film. When you see the cover for this and you see the trailers and the stills and all that, there's no way anyone is going to think this is a child version of it. So there you have it. There's the plot. There's some information about the movie. I am super excited about this film. Now, it kind of sucks that you're not going to be able to see Tigger and Eeyore and all that other good stuff. It would be cool to see that. Who knows, maybe, you know, down the road in a sequel or something like that, there might, you know, be a loophole or something they can throw those characters in. I mean, we're going to get Eeyore, but he's pretty much dead at this point because Pooh and Piglet have gone hungry. But I do got to say, the plot for this movie sounds really good. It's basic, it's simple, and I mean, that's all you need. And that's the thing with horror movies nowadays, is that, you know, there's always loopholes, there's always side plots, there's always, you know, there's always something. You can't keep everybody happy, right? And I miss the good old days where you didn't need any of that. There wasn't no, well, what happened with it? It's just plain and simple, pure. This is the plot, we're gonna run with it and we're gonna go. And I think that's really amazing that Christopher Robin just, you know, obviously grows up, goes to college, and you think about it, you left these animals or stuffed animals, whatever you want to call them, on their own. I mean, even if you look at the cartoon, you know, you grow up and leave them and you have their little adventures. But the dark side of that is what's amazing. The dark side of that Winnie the Pooh story, where Christopher Robin goes up and grows up and goes to college and all that good stuff, and you left these stuffed animals or animals, whatever you want to call them, alone, without a guide, without someone to take care of them, you know, and they turn feral and hunt for food to take care of their own. I mean, I think that is pretty awesome, because any animal you do that with, that's what's going to happen. If you have a dog and you leave that dog out in the wilderness for so long, yeah, it's going to revert back to its feral, you know, natural state. And I think that's what's so cool about this plot, is that you took this kid's story and you're interpreting it and retelling it in a way that's going to be pretty awesome to the viewers. I'm very excited about it. Like I said, it would have been cool to see like Tigger and, you know, that evil face. But if you look at some of the stills that have been going through, I mean, it's going to be really awesome, I think. And, you know, it's going to have some comedy in it. It's going to have, you know, some dark side to it. They're going to try to balance it out, which I think is really awesome. But if you look at like these pictures here with like Pooh and Piglet, I mean, they just look creepy and scary, and I'm really excited to see these guys go at it and just wreak havoc on the poor victims of this movie. So I'm very excited about it. That's all we know so far. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out on any more information for this movie, because this movie, I'm sorry, I grew up with Winnie the Pooh, and when I heard about this happening, I just got super excited. And you know, this is something I definitely want to cover, and I'm gonna watch, because like I said, if it's got a little bit of cheese in it and, you know, it's a good movie, it's going to work out good, right? And maybe they won't take themselves seriously. A lot of movies don't take themselves seriously sometimes, and they end up being the best movies. But then if it does try to go to be a best movie and scary, and then it works out. So it's a win-win for us either way. But that is what I love about being a horror fan, because horror movies are now starting to break the barrier, right? You can't contain horror anymore at this point, because, you know, you got Jordan Peele's movies that are just breaking different bounds and doing horror in so many different aspects. You know, for something like this, you know, horror is breaking another barrier, and we're touching childhood things, and we're making it dark and scary. I mean, you got Winnie the Pooh. Look at the Banana Splits. That was a kid's show, and they turned that and twisted that. I absolutely love that, and I hope they continue to break barriers. I don't know if any of you guys have seen when they had the post of like the Hasbro games like Candyland and stuff like that made into horror movies, like they made scary movie posters for them. That would be awesome. I don't understand why we're not funding that, because I would watch the hell out of those movies. You know, Operation, I mean, just to see those Hungry Hippos I saw, I mean, just to see those in the horror movies would be freaking phenomenal. But I love the fact that they're breaking the barriers. Horror is being released onto the most innocent of things, being twisted and turned into nightmarish things. Absolutely love it. I'm excited for it. So I know with Winnie the Pooh, you know, they got to be careful with obviously what they do, because you don't want it to represent Disney in a way, which it kind of bugs me out, but maybe they could change it, because I'm expecting, or I would love to see Winnie the Pooh have like his little soft voice. Like, that would be hilarious to see him just be like, "Oh, Piglet, we're going to kill all these victims," you know, whatever, however he says it. Forget about my horrible Winnie the Pooh impersonation, but I could picture Piglet like just being like, "Prepare to die," you know, like just those little soft voice. So if they kind of make like a soft voice, or not too close to the, you know, obviously the Disney Winnie the Pooh, but I'm curious as if he's gonna have like a soft voice, or if he's gonna have like a raspy voice, or maybe he doesn't talk. I mean, they should be able to talk. They talk in the original and the cartoon and stuff. But I'm so anxious to see these guys. I mean, even Piglet's in it. So even to see Piglet just be to see Piglet just go over there and just be like, you better run, you know, like that would, it's just phenomenal. There's just so many things that can come of this movie. Like I said, we have the plot, and you know, I guess all really that we could speculate is just how these characters are going to come to life and be dark and evil. And you know, like I said, talking about how they're going to talk, are they going to have memory of Christopher Robin? Is Christopher Robin going to come back and try to stop them? What if Christopher Robin finds out what's going on and comes back and tries to turn them back into their old good selves and you know, ask for forgiveness or something like that? Or after becoming feral and they just find their food in these victims, are they going to have a vendetta against Christopher Robin for abandoning him? There's just so many different things that can come of this, from sequels and stuff like that. So I'm curious as to, I mean, that was just a basic of the plot, but I'm so curious to know if Christopher Robin's going to play a part in this movie, other than, you know, obviously abandoning them and going to school and all that other good stuff. So I'm very excited about it. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with this all-time classic. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of curious as to see how Disney's going to handle it too, because, you know, Disney's going to probably complain and you're going to ruin a childhood film and all that good stuff. But you know what? You don't own the rights to Winnie the Pooh. Your versions you do, but this is open game here, and I'm excited for it. So other than that, guys, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found some new information on this movie. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe, don't be a monster. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this movie, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.